The chair shifted a little when it was set down again. Not move far, just enough to make a soft sound against the floor. One side of the chair faced outward. The other side stayed close to the wall. That side was always empty. A person stood nearby for a moment, longer than necessary. A hand rested on the top rail, then lifted away. The chair did not change. Every day, the same small adjustment happened. The chair was pulled out, then pushed back in. Not all the way. Never all the way. The empty side stayed open, as if space was being saved, as if weight might return to it. Light passed over the chair in slow pieces. The legs caught it first, then the seat, then nothing. The person circled once, quietly. Shoes made no effort to be heard. The chair was checked again, straightened, touched. There were 2 places to sit. Only one was used. Sometimes the chair was wiped down. Just one side. The cloth paused where the other side began, then stopped. The person remained standing longer than before. Breathing stayed shallow. Still. The chair waited. Nothing else in the room asked for attention. The chair held it all. Its back faced the same direction every time. Its empty side stayed clear. The person finally sat. Slowly. Carefully. Only halfway across the seat. The unused space stayed beside them. A shoulder leaned inward. Not toward the empty side. Away from it. The chair did not creak. It had learned silence. Moments passed without shape. No sound marked them. The person's hands rested in their lap, then lifted, then rested again. The chair stayed where it was. One side held weight. One side did not. Nothing was said. Nothing needed to be said. The empty side remained open, as if it had never learned how to close. The chair stayed where it had been left. Morning after morning. No mark on the floor showed how often it was moved. The same motion returned. Hands reached. The chair slid out. Then back. Always stopping short. The empty side stayed clear. Meals came and went without sound. The chair was present for all of them. It faced the same direction. It received the same amount of light. Nothing ever sat on the other side. The person used the chair the same way each time, sitting slightly off-center, leaving room without measuring it. The body leaned inward. Elbows stayed close. The empty side remained untouched. Sometimes the chair was turned just a little, as if alignment mattered, as if position could change something unseen. It did not. The chair was cleaned again. One pass of the cloth, then another. only on the U side. Dust gathered slowly where no one sat. It stayed there longer. The person noticed, then looked away. Days repeated themselves quietly. The chair marked them better than anything else. Each U's were the same place smooth. The other side stayed unchanged. No footsteps approached. No weight tested the space. The chair did not complain. It did not invite. The person stood up. The chair was pushed back. Not fully. The space beside it stayed open. At times, the chair was left unused. Still, it was placed properly. Straight. Ready. The person passed by it without sitting. Then returned. Then paused. Nothing else in the room shifted. The chair held its place. The empty side remained visible from anywhere nearby. It cannot be avoided. It did not ask to be filled. The person sat again. The same way. The same distance from the edge. Breathing stayed quiet. The chair absorbed it. Hours folded into one another. No signal marked the change. The chair stayed patient. One side worn. One side waiting. Repetition continued. Not because it had to, but because there was nothing else to do. The chair had not always been used this way. There was a time when weight settled evenly. Not measured. Not careful. The memory returned without sound. Not as a scene. As pressure. The chair remembered it through shape alone. Both sides pressed down. Both legs steady. The person stood near it now. Hands resting on the back. Fingers spread wider than needed. The empty side did not feel empty then. It had held warmth. Movement. A shift that came without warning. The chair had learned those movements slowly. Small adjustments. Shared weight. There had been pauses that leaned outward. Then inward again. The chair had answered without thinking. Now, the person's hands tightened. Then loosened. The chair was pulled out. This time, farther. Zapazonzat. Still off center, but closer to the middle than before. For a moment, the empty side felt near. Too near. The body stiffened. A breath caught. The chair stayed steady. Something had once rested there. Not always. Not every day. But often enough to change the balance. The person's shoulders shifted, as if making room. The space did not respond. The chair did not either. It held what was placed on it. Nothing more. The memory did not bring images. Only habits. The way the chair had been pushed back too far. The way it had been turned slightly to make space. The person noticed the angle now. adjusted it, then stopped. The chair faced forward again. The empty side stayed beside them. Unmarked. Untouched. The person sat still. Longer than usual. The chair accepted the weight. All of it. The other side remained quiet. Something had once been placed there without thought, without care, without needing permission. Now, the space waited, not for return, only because it had never learned another state. The person stood, slowly. The chair did not follow. It stayed where it was, holding the shape of what had once been shared. The chair remained in its place, not centered, not fully pushed in. The empty side stayed open without effort. The person returned to it later. No pause this time. No adjustment beyond the familiar one. The chair slid out, then back, stopping where it always stopped. Sitting came easily now. The body settled into the same off-center position. No hesitation. The empty side stayed beside them. Close. Unchanged. Light crossed the chair again. It moved the same way it always had, touching one side longer than the other. The person did not follow it. I stayed low. Hands rested still. Breathing slowed. Evened out. The chair accepted the weight without comment. It had learned this shape well. No space was measured anymore. No room was offered. The empty side was simply there. It did not feel like absence. It felt like structure. The person leaned inward slightly. As always. Not away. Not toward. Just enough. The chair did not remember balance. It held the present instead. The unused side gathered nothing new. No dust was wiped away. No cloth paused there. It stayed clean through neglect. Time passed without markers. The chair did not count it. Neither did the person. Standing came later. Unhurried. The chair was pushed back. Not fully. The empty side remained visible. But it no longer waited. It stayed open because that was its shape now. The person moved on. The chair stayed. One side worn smooth. One side untouched. Together. Not balanced, but steady. Not every memory is clear, but some never leave. They remain quietly, waiting for an ordinary moment to return. If this story brought something back, it has done enough.